What's up, 12s? This is Victor, and you're locked in to Seahawks Nation Update, home of your reigning world champion Seattle Seahawks. Let me ask you something. How ruthless should a defending Super Bowl champion be? Because right now, Seattle might be preparing to make a move that would shock the entire NFL. We're talking about a veteran wide receiver, a former Super Bowl MVP, a proven playoff assassin, a player who just helped take down the New England Patriots on the biggest stage, potentially being cut. Yes, after winning it all. The production during the regular season dipped, 593 yards, 2 touchdowns, just 1, 39 yards per route run. And with a $17 $5 million cap hit and a $9 million roster bonus about to trigger, the front office has a serious decision to make. Is this about loyalty, or is this about building a dynasty? With younger weapons emerging like Rashid Shaheed, the numbers start to paint a very cold, very calculated picture. And freeing up nearly $10 million could help secure long-term deals for cornerstone players like Kenneth Walker III and Rick Woolen. But that's only half of what's brewing in Seattle. On defense, the Seahawks have been aggressively linked to Max Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders. And you already know how insane that would be for a unit that finished 6th in pressure rate, 3rd in total pressures, and tied for 7th in sacks last season. But here's where things get really interesting. If that blockbuster trade doesn't happen, there's a backup plan. And this one might be just as fascinating. A former top 5 draft pick, a 30-year-old veteran, a pass rusher who once terrorized quarterbacks with double-digit sack seasons, a player coming off a torn ACL that wiped out an entire year, but returned to play all 17 games last season and still put up 8. 5 sacks, 48 pressures, and 2 forced fumbles on a struggling defense. He was recently released during a rebuild. He's chasing one last shot at a ring. And he might see Seattle, opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, as the perfect place to finish what he started. Imagine plugging that kind of hungry, redemption-driven edge rusher into a defense that already dominates the trenches. So now I'm asking you, 12s, do you move on from a Super Bowl winning receiver to protect the future? And do you swing for a superstar trade or sign a veteran who's playing with everything to prove? If you're a real fan, still celebrating that Lombardi trophy, smash that like button right now. And subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, but only if you believe this team isn't done yet. Only if you believe we're building something bigger than one championship. Now let's break down the contracts, the cap math, and what these moves would really mean for 2026 and beyond. Could Seattle cut Cooper Kupp after winning the Super Bowl? There's a prediction floating around that the Seahawks could make a shocking move, releasing Cooper Kupp this offseason. Yes, that Cooper Kupp, Super Bowl champion, veteran leader, clutch postseason performer, and now potentially a cap casualty? Let's break this down. The numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole story. Kupp absolutely showed up in the playoffs. When the lights were brightest, he delivered. But during the regular season, the production dipped. 593 receiving yards, career low 2 touchdowns, career low target rate, 39 yards per route run. At 32 years old, those numbers matter. Now here's the financial side. 17s. $5 million cap hit in 2026, $9 million roster guarantee triggers mid-February. Cutting him would clear nearly $10 million in cap space. That's not pocket change. That's flexibility. That's extension money. That's the difference between keeping young stars long-term or not. The bigger picture, Seattle has younger weapons emerging. Rashid Shaheed came in and gave this offense serious juice after the trade deadline. Torrey Horton is developing. The receiver room isn't empty. And then you look at the bigger priorities. Extensions for Kenneth Walker III, Rick Woolen. Those are foundational pieces. If freeing up $10 million helps lock in your core for the next 4 to 5 years, that's something the front office has to seriously consider. Is this a strange decision? Emotionally? Yes. Strategically? Maybe not. Kupp's value to this team wasn't just stats. It was veteran leadership, route precision, clutch third down reliability, playoff composure, but the NFL is ruthless. If the front office believes his regular season decline is real, not just usage-related, then paying $17. $5 million for 593 yards becomes difficult to justify, especially when you're trying to repeat. My honest take as a 12, I respect Cooper Kupp. He helped us win a championship. He delivered in the postseason. He made key plays when it mattered most. But if this comes down to keeping young stars locked up long-term or paying premium money to a 32-year-old receiver coming off career lows, I understand the business decision. That doesn't make it easy. It doesn't mean I like it. but championship windows require tough calls. And if Rashid Shaheed continues ascending, maybe Seattle already has its next dynamic playmaker in-house. Now I want to hear from you 12s. Do you keep Cooper Kupp for one more run? Or do you free up $10 million and invest in the future? Drop your takes in the comments. Let's talk about it like real fans. All right, now let's talk about another something serious. Because repeating as champions isn't about celebrating, it's about upgrading. Before we get into this, let me ask you something. Are you still replaying that confetti falling? Are you still smiling about us lifting that Lombardi? If you're a true 12 who's proud, we're the reigning champs, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. Only the fans who are happy about that Super Bowl win are allowed in this conversation. What if the Max Crosby trade doesn't happen? For months, the Seahawks have been loosely linked to Max Crosby of the Las Vegas Raiders. And let's be honest, adding Crosby to this defense would be unfair. But what if the Raiders don't budge? What if the price is too high? You don't panic, you pivot. And that pivot might be Bradley Chubb. Why Bradley Chubb makes sense. Chubb was just released by the Miami Dolphins as part of their rebuild. He'll be 30 when the 2026 season starts. And yes, he's coming off an ACL tear that wiped out his 2024 season. But here's what matters. He played all 17 games this past season. And even on a struggling Dolphins defense, he put up 47 total tackles, 24 solo tackles, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 48 total pressures, 48 pressures on a bottom-tier defense. Now imagine him in Seattle. Let's talk about this defense. Seattle finished 6th in quarterback pressure rate, 26, 1%, 3rd in total pressures, 180, tied for 7th in total sacks, 47, and that was before adding another high-level veteran edge. Now imagine Chubb lining up opposite DeMarcus Lawrence. You're talking about 2 experienced pass rushers collapsing pockets from both sides. Quarterbacks wouldn't get comfortable at all. The window to win. Here's the part that makes this move even more realistic. Chubb isn't looking for one last massive payday. He's looking for one more real chance to win. And where better than Seattle? He's already made Pro Bowls in his career. He's already gotten paid. Now it's about legacy. And this Seahawks team, it's built to win now. The bigger picture. There's also another factor. What if Boy Mafe leaves in free agency? Suddenly, edge depth becomes a priority. You don't want to overwork your stars. You don't want to rely entirely on youth. You need waves of pressure in today's NFL. Chubb doesn't need to be a 15-sack guy. If he gives you 8-10 sacks and 50-plus pressures in this defense, that's a championship-level rotation. And here's something I love about this fit. Seattle's coaching staff knows how to maximize veterans. Look what happened this season. Look at the defensive consistency. Look at the discipline. Look at how we closed games. Chubb stepping into that culture could unlock a second wind in his career. My take as a 12, do I want Max Crosby? Absolutely. But if the Raiders slam the door, Bradley Chubb is not a consolation prize. He's experienced, he's productive, he's motivated, and he'd be joining the reigning Super Bowl champions. That's dangerous. Now I want to hear from you. If the Crosby trade fails, do you want Bradley Chubb, or do you look to the draft instead? How aggressive should Seattle be in protecting this championship window? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it like real 12s. And again, if you're proud of this team, if you believe we can repeat, if you're still celebrating that Super Bowl title, smash that like button and subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update. This is Victor. Go Hawks!